then we got a signal to come through that on one of the air raids, 4-5 Commandos Milans had got blown up, and we were to join 4-5 Commando to provide the Milan cover for the battles into Stanley. From that point, 4-5 had already gone, so we'd actually watched them yomp out. So we basically stayed behind in San Carlos, and 3 or 4 more days of air raids, and then we were tasked to join them. I remember that one because we went on to the Tristan. Yeah, Tristan. It was about a week before it got hit with the Welsh Guards. So we cross-decked from the Uganda, I think it was Fearless, Uganda, which was the hospital ship. Uganda was the hospital ship. That was quite surreal, because for the first time we saw lots of bodies. As we were walking through Uganda, you'd see the guys like off their heads with a big M painted on their forehead and sort of sat there morphined up. So it got a little bit more real, or even more real then, just to see the amount of casualties coming through. We then jumped on the Tristan, sailed round and met up with 4-5 at Teal Inlet. We started off the yomp from Teal Inlet, and probably one of the hardest things I've done. It was pretty epic, especially with the weights we were carrying. The weights were just, some guys were carrying their body weight and a bit more. It's just one of those things you had to get through. And in the end, you were just looking at objects in the distance. You'd sort of pick up an object and go, right, okay, I can make it to there. And once you've made it to there, you'd sort of go, right, I'll pick another object. And the objects got smaller and smaller. And at certain times, it pretty much took all you had just to put one foot in front of the other. Normally, the Royal Marine way of yomping is thumb up bum, mind in neutral, and but that wasn't an option, because obviously the enemy threat, you had to keep switched on. So you had all the pain, but all amongst all that pain, you had to keep yourself switched on. You had to keep looking at arcs. What would you do if something happened there? If an air raid happened there, what would you do? So you had to keep your mind. You had to keep your mind active. You couldn't really switch off to the pain. That was pretty good. In fact, at one point, I think our bivvy partner was Taft Davis. We'd sort of say, look, I'm just going to switch off now for like sort of 5-10 minutes. Give me 5-10 minutes. And you just sort of yomp. He'd cover your back even more, and you just yomp, and you just sort of switch off and just go somewhere where you could get through it. Just switch your mind off to it all, and then after that 5-10 minutes, you would sort of kick your back, and then you go, okay, like my turn to switch back on again. You have a little switch off, but at that point, it was basically whatever you could do, anything you could do to sort of catch yourself a little mental breather, just catch yourself a bit of a breather for what was ahead.